Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Developer Passport. I'm Earl Duke, Senior Developer Advocate here at ServiceNow. And today we are diving into experiences on the Australia release. If you've been following along this week, you've already seen playbooks get some love with AI agents and nested processes. And yesterday you watched flows pick up some nice debugging and version comparison tools. Cool. But now it's our turn. I'll show everybody on our screen. Yeah, now it's our turn, and we're talking about the layer your users actually see, experiences. So that's the UI, the workspace, the things that either make people say, "Ooh, this is nice," or complain under their breath. I don't know. We've got 2 sessions today covering experiences, and I'm being joined by 2 friends from product, and we're going to introduce them very soon. And they're going to walk us through what's new in Australia. But before we jump in, we do have some housekeeping. So some announcements. We do want you to join us in Las Vegas for CreatorCon, our fun stuff that's always happening in the CreatorCon show floor, with all of our labs too, and all the different events that we're putting on. We would love for you to join us in Vegas. It's on May 5th through May 7th this year. So just look up knowledge.servicenow.com to see all that good stuff. If you scan this QR code or go to devlink.sn/G2devpassport, you'll be able to take it's like a survey, a review ServiceNow App Engine, and we'll send you a $25 gift card. As a reminder, some of the things that we're talking about may be forward-looking. So safe harbor means don't make purchasing decisions based off of solely the things that you learn on this stream, but just be conscious about all that stuff that you're learning. But yeah, let's jump into our introductions. I've already introduced myself, and I'll pass it over to Maria Gabriela.
Hello, my name is Maria Gabriela Ochoa Perez-Wechter. I'm an outbound product manager on the AI Agent Experiences team, and I'll pass it off to my boss.
Hey everybody, my name is Brad Tilton, and I lead our agent and end user experiences outbound PM team here at ServiceNow.
Nice. And shout out to behind the scenes, Travis Tolson, one of my colleagues, is sitting behind the scenes pressing buttons. So if anything goes wrong, let's all just blame Travis. It's Travis's fault. We all know it's that problem. It's always
if at any time I disappear, it's a conspiracy and it's all Travis and Earl's fault.
No, it's not mine. See, my hands I didn't do it. My hands were on screen that time. That was not me.
What did I say?
Okay, so I was calling ServiceNow Experiences the UI. So is there a more nuanced way to describe the ServiceNow Experiences?
I mean, we've been calling it AI Experiences,
Okay.
but Experiences is the easy way to refer to all of the different experiences that we have.
Okay, I'll let you kick off and start talking about the stuff you want to talk about today.
All right. Yes, so we've got, that's my screen. All right, we've got a few things that we're going to demo today that are either, specific to the Australia release, or they came out via the store in this time frame. The longer we go, the less we differentiate between family and store release as we put more and more stuff on the store. And those things change, almost every month at this point. So we're gonna spend some time in a workspace and talk about what's new with our AI in product experiences in workspace, which I'm excited about. And then we'll talk about some new lists and forms features. So a bunch of little enhancements to lists and forms, basically all based on customer feedback that we've gotten. Some of it, parity with core UI. Some of it just a long time, like there's a feature that I'll demo that you can do in Excel that we've always wanted to do in a list. Excuse me. And so we'll do that. And then Gabby is going to demo our, what are we calling it? All menu configuration. We call it Build Anywhere internally. But it's a way to kind of bring builders to, where you are looking at them. So how you can work with the all menu a little bit better than you've been doing it the last 20 years, I guess.
Oh my God, 20 years.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so let's start with in-product experience for our AI experiences. So I am going to click into an incident, maybe. There we go.
Brad fashion, I want to ask, how much did you prepare for this?
That's the wrong. Gabby goes, how much did I prepare for this?
Okay. No, that's not the time to drop them off.
So my team prepared a bit for this, which is a good shout out to Sam Yukthan and Dexter, who put together a lot of the demo stuff for me, so I could just come do the fun stuff. Yes. So AI in product experience is our first one here. And one of the, as you're running agentic workflows, whether you're generating a resolution plan, classifying and triaging an incident, you've always kind of had to do that through the panel, or maybe hit a button and you don't know what's going on with it. And so, we're trying to bring that into the experience a little better. And so I'm going to go ahead and show what that looks like. So I'm going to hit generate resolution plan. And then we're going to open up this panel. Maybe.
Cool.
Of course, live demo. All right, we're going to do a.
So while you're doing that, there is a question in the chat from Ailey. Our favorite Ailey, is the AI experience different than traditional workspace experiences, or is it just a fancy new name?
It's a fancy new name that's more representative of our experiences, since they are becoming AI native.
We're so good about fancy new names.
I will have you know that ServiceNow is the best about naming things, okay?
And of course, this is taking forever to load, so we're going to flip over and do the other. What is happening? There we go. We're going to flip over and do the other part of the demo where we just look at lists and forms. And we are going to start by opening an incident here. I don't think it matters which one I open. What's funny is I've been demoing all morning, so I have not run into these issues yet. And this is 2 different instances. So this is great.
No, this is great. You're setting up my demo to run super smoothly as I sit here extending the session on my instance over and over again, so I don't forget to stay logged in. We have a great question in the chat. Should developers invest time in learning how to build workspaces, or is everything likely to shift towards prompt-based approaches in the future?
Who asked that question? All right.
Sanjeev.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I like to imagine Brad is asking who asked that question, because who asked that question?
Who asked that question? What's their address? I think it's always good to stay up to date on all the new technologies. Like, I love using Claude at work to procrastinate on doing my actual work and make applications that'll do my work for me. It's so much fun. So getting familiar with prompt-based stuff, like with Build Agent, will always be a really useful skill to have. But I'll let Brad continue on. Sorry to interrupt.
Very good. Yeah, so that's a tough question to answer. It's always hard to answer a forward-looking question. Is it worth learning something? So the reality is we're changing all the time, and we're always trying to release the best tooling, and so it really depends on what your customers are wanting from you, and if you're at a customer, what you're working on at the moment and what you've implemented. So that's my non-answer to that question.
It's a great non-answer. I do think that UI builder skills will still set you apart, because it's still it's a widely adopted set of features that very few people are really experts on. I think we've got all 5 of them on this call and in the audience right now. I'm obviously joking. I'm sure there's more than 5 people.
Wow.
Take it as a challenge. Become the next UI builder expert and write all the documentation for me. I mean,
all right. So we've loaded finally. There's a few things that I wanted to show on the Workspace form page. One of them is we've added the ability to change the background color of a field. And so you'll see in this one, if I change the business impact and exit out of it, it turns blue. And so this is a small change, but actually something that's been asked for a lot, where we can, based on something happening on the form, you can give your users an indicator that something needs to change. Maybe you highlight a field red based on something else. The mandatory, the little mandatory star is not always enough for people, especially if they're not in the system all the time, knowing what it's like. So that's one of them. The other one that is just not working for some reason is WorkNotes has a rich text editor now. I believe WorkNotes and additional comments support the rich text editor. I looked at this morning. It was there. Do I need to hit? There we go. There's an icon. We also added this icon where you can enable it and disable it. I'm convinced that they did it just to mess with my demo. But rich text editor changes there. And then we also have updated, what did we update? The format painter in the email compose. And then the last one here, we added filtering by posted by. And one of the nice things about this is there's an incident where I can demo this. It's this one. We added posted by, and you can also flag for AI. So if AI is the user that has posted something, you can filter that out or filter that in. That's especially helpful, for more and more of this autonomous work that gets done. We can, see if AI is the one doing the work there. So that is helpful. So a few of the form changes here. There's a lot more little changes like this, and the release notes for Workspace for Australia document all of this pretty well, what changed and what didn't. But now let's go into the list view here. And we're going to go requests. So some fun things for request here. One of them is for the stage field. There's now a stage details icon, and I think this is for any workflow field where you get more info. You can see more about what's going on in the stage field. The other fun thing that I can do is I can right click and I can pin. I don't have a scroll. I could make this smaller, but anyway, I can freeze columns and move them either all the way to the left or all the way to the right, and then when I scroll, they stay there. So that's pretty helpful. That's actually, I think I wanted this when I was a ServiceNow admin, 15 years ago.
It's very Excel.
Yeah, it's very Excel. So another fun one. I can also do some visualizations. So I can right click and show visualization. So something you could already do in Core UI. I kind of like the way that we do it here where it's all on the same page. And then you can also come in and change things. So you can change the visualization type. You could change what field it's happening against. So
And
yeah,
is this in flight, or is it being saved like as a report every time you do it?
You can, depending on the roles that you have, you can add this to a dashboard. So I think, well, let's see what happens.
And while that loads, Brad, are these features always pertaining to certain workspaces, or can they be enabled across other ones as well?
Great question. This is specific to the list bundle, which most of our out-of-the-box workspaces are using at this point.
Nice.
And
So
if you notice anything that doesn't work on your instance, make sure to go into UI Builder and check all of the options for the component configuration. Because, like, for example, the gallery view may not be enabled out of the box by default, but you can enable it and have it show your list as a gallery instead of a list.
Thank you. All right. So platform analytics isn't loading very well. The other thing was another kind of parity item here is list calculations are available in Workspace. So if you want to, sum or average, what else?
So one time at Knowledge, I had this guy like follow me from one end of the conference to the other, talking to me about all these list enhancements that he had. And the list team was so happy to hear about everything that he was asking for, because they were like pretty sure that they were handling it now in this release. So I really hope that he's somewhere out there looking at this video and just going like, yes, calculations, sums, let's go.
Yeah, so I can right click and get to list calculations. No, I don't know what's going on with
Fantastic.
this. So yeah, I can no longer. Yeah, no, it's frozen. Something's frozen. The last one, it's not going to let me do this. So I'm going to refresh one more time. Wow.
Oh, snap.
We're totally
So
gone.
consider our team poked, Nick. We often have internal enablement sessions and internal means to communicate what new features are coming out for all of our workspaces. It just depends on when they end up adopting them and releasing them on their own. But you are able to, like I said, duplicate the variant of the list page in the HR agent workspace and just enable these features yourself. In terms of these being core product offerings, I'm not quite sure what you're asking for, RRP. But yeah, these are all platform level enhancements that should come available to you in terms of, can you enable them as soon as you update your version and your UI builder? Yes. It just is going to depend on when the individual workspaces adopt them if you don't want to have to go in and make these changes yourself. And can we configure the gallery view? Mr. Kenny, I don't know. Brad, do you know if we can configure the gallery view to make it much different?
I don't
think
know.
it just recently
Great
came
question.
out.
I do like some of these technical questions though. With the addition of the rich text field editor for the work notes and comments and stuff like that, how is that stored in the actual dictionary? Is it still wrapping in code? Have we changed how they get stored in the journal? Like, how does that look in the background? Because what if I would be interested to know how it looks if we pulled it programmatically in some other location.
I assume it's stored via just HTML, but I mean that would be that should be something you should be able to play with, pretty quickly. Yeah. The one last thing I wanted to show on forms and lists is a version of hierarchical lists. So this will show any related lists. So I think, hierarchical lists was most useful when it comes to catalog, when you've got a request with multiple items, with multiple tasks or approvals. And so this is available now. This is something you set up through the SysUX list record. So it would apply to a specific list and a specific workspace. So not something you'd want to turn on globally, where all of your lists have this now.
And okay, so it was just, it brings up all the stuff underneath that one. Okay, cool.
Yep. Yeah, so I think it's a little better than hierarchical lists because you can show, I think with hierarchical lists, you could only show, like, it would only show tasks or only show items for requests. And so this lets you show all related lists or multiple related lists. I think that's all of my form and lists.
So I know you were talking earlier about, hey, we're moving toward more often more steady releases, not necessarily tied to the major family releases. Is there anything you want to talk about for like lists and stuff like that might be coming between store releases or the next store release that you want to mention before we jump into Gabby's?
That's a good question. I don't know that for lists and forms we'll have much in between releases. I would say, if you're looking at like our end product experience that I didn't get to show because the instance wasn't working, but we've actually got an academy we just did on it and an article that's published that I'll make sure get added to this description. But things like that are getting iterated on every month or two. And you'll see more and more of that through the store as we move forward.
Nice. All right, Gabby, what do you have to show for us?
In a world where we're all administrators again, do y'all remember this little menu over here on the left-hand side? We call it the filter navigator. And remember how these are technically called applications?
Yeah,
and these are all menu items?
It says app modules.
Yeah. You remember how we use the word application for like 15 different things inside of ServiceNow? Well, get ready for it, y'all. Get ready for it. We now have revolutionized the way to edit, maintain, and create these. So now if you press a little plus icon, we get sent to a brand new experience. Let me type in a name, move something out of the way here and hit create. And here is the new all menu editing capabilities.
What?
Yeah, so something I really quickly want to cover. So we had a question in the chat. Filter work notes, is it only on workspaces or next experience as well? Laszlo, I'm getting there. Get out of here. Laszlo, you're banned from the chat. So we had a question. Filter work notes, is it only on workspaces or next experience as well? I just wanted to get a real quick kind of a dictionary lesson here. So this experience right here is the classic form experience. We like to call this the core UI. This is whenever you go to like incident.list, you're seeing the classic list experience versus a workspace list, which is what Brad was showing, and a workspace form, which is what Brad was showing. Those are all what we call them workspaces. Internally, they are also referred to as seismic lists and forms and seismic experiences, because that's kind of the underlying technology. But we're going to call them workspace lists and forms. What we've got now with the create menu, application menu here, application menu editing is kind of the next step for classic lists and forms, where we're able to leverage the new seismic technology components and things like that to create better experiences for our end users who may not have necessarily adopted a workspace just yet, but we can bring them into the 21st century and we can all be together over here in the nice side of things. So let me show you guys real quick. Now that we have the basic dictionary laid out, I can use AI to tell Now Assist what I want. Oh, Nick, get ready for it. You're going to love this. So first, let me start with create a new record form, a list view, and a page to show incident dashboard statistics. You know what? Let's just YOLO a prompt and see what happens. Nothing's ever bad happened in a demo. So it's going to generate me some modules here on the side to get me started. Now, Nick, proper folders. I can't make miracles happen, but I can sure bring you guys. I can sure bring you guys some new enhancements to our application menu. So it's going to give us a chance to review the changes it created for us. So we've got new incident, a list incident, and then we've got incident dashboard statistics. And I'm fine with that. If you aren't fine with what it creates, you can click on reject. But I'm going to go ahead and hit accept and edit. And here I'm able to now add in more things like here is actually another definition thing because we're so good with naming things. The new seismic experience things, we're calling them next experience modules versus classic modules. So if you still need access to the original stuff, how we used to configure things, you can still add them and it'll be able to be worked with the rest of them. You can drag and drop them and move them wherever you would like. I'm going to remove it just to make it easier for us. But you can also add folders, Nick. Instead of having to deal with like all of that negative, oh my gosh, I think like the moment as a ServiceNow admin when I realized that everything was just going to go downhill from here was when my old manager told me that I had to number like 30 menu items with 50s in between. So that way you could like add in the 75s and the 25s later in case you needed to add more. You don't need to worry about that anymore if you don't want to. This is going to be so much better for y'all because you can just literally drag and drop and edit things and not have to worry about how things look. But if you're still wanting to ruin your day like that, they are still available if you edit them. Except I lost them. I could have sworn there was an order field somewhere in here, but let me maybe hit save first. So I'm going to rename this folder to Dev Passport. I'm going to go back to my list. I'm going to add everything under here. And I'm going to hit done. So now it's creating it for me. And now I'm in the full experience. That's probably why the order was missing. So now I've got my, and this will kind of look familiar to you guys. If you're familiar with how editing these application modules used to work, this is still going to look pretty similar if we're looking at at like the top level one. Here we go. Here's order. So here's what you can kind of look at. You can generate more modules. Now, I wanted to show you guys something specifically is if we open up the dashboard module that it created for us, yes, RRP, you do need now a subscription to create them the way I did, but you don't need them to create and add modules like completely. You can do that without needing the AI stuff. I just did it to be, not to be lazy, but to show an awesome new feature. So what's cool here is we've got actually a platform analytics dashboard maker right here, where we can create data visualizations and add existing ones to our dashboard without needing to go into platform analytics. We can configure the module further from here. We can delete it. There's settings. You can add tabs, and it'll basically act just like a dashboard analytics dashboard would. Dashboard analytics. Don't let my friends hear I said that. There's a couple of PMs who would be very disappointed in me for saying it like that.
I'm messaging them now, right now.
No, don't. I'll never be able to live this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit save. So we've got our incident dashboard statistics. Now let's stay. Y'all ever get that ask from your customer when they're like, hey, I want, no, Lasso, don't share the recording. So here we go. I've got my incident list. I can edit what table it's filtering. I can set a different view up here. I can set a filter for it using this right here. I'm going to do active is true, and I'm going to hit apply, and it's going to show me the list again. So again, this is the next experience list, kind of like the fancy one that we were looking at in the workspace. And the goal here is to provide you with as much configuration as you can get without needing to go into UI Builder. But it does mean that there is less configuration options in comparison to building a workspace using UI Builder, but it still gives us a lot of flexibility. Like, for example, if I click Add Above, it lets me do a bunch of fun things. Like, for example, my favorite one is we can add a data visualization to your incident list. And I'm going to go ahead and it auto-saved. It should let me edit it now. There it is. So here I can define my data resource again. I'm going to look up the incident table. And I can set it to whatever metric I want to. Right now, I'm just going to have it count incidents, and I can edit the metric, and I can select the field or anything like that, but I'm going to go ahead and just leave it like that. Now, if you're like me and you like making things look pretty, you can center it, change the size of the score or anything like that. You can also have like a dial to show the statuses of your incidents, but you're going to want to change the metric to not just be counting them. Let's do, we're going to count by,
I'm still
or
I'm
it
waiting
might
for
not
the
even
payoff.
let me.
I'm waiting for the payoff.
Yeah, no,
Seeing this in the menu.
Okay, so let's go ahead and show that off then. You can see it auto-saved. If you click here to open the module, it'll actually show it off. Oh, I forgot to set the order to -1. So I lost it in here in the filter. Oh, did it not hit save? Dev
Shouldn't have to hit save.
passport. Is that what I named it? There it is. So this is what it looks like once you configure it correctly, which I never claimed that data visualizations were my forte. I am here for UI and UI related things. Something else I wanted to show you guys is just a couple more things. Yes, this is intended to be used by system administrators. If you go to, let me show you guys the incident list again.
Well, that's loading. To really talk quickly, the impact of this. Oh, hello.
Hello.
All menu. This is good because we're bringing people in that are used to the normal navigation in from the core platform, which we're used to when we set it up and we build applications. It's usually the core UI for lists, for forms, and stuff like that. When you click on incidents, it brings you to the old way to look at lists, and a lot of the things that we're updating don't have the features of being able to show a analytics scorecard at the very top. It doesn't have the ability to do these fly-ins and new ways to display that information. And so now, without having to know how to configure workspaces or how to edit those kind of application lists on the side menu for everybody, you can use this new all menu configuration to add those directly into it, so you can basically guide people to a better experience, to be able to see the stuff that they use every day in a better way, in a more appealing way. Yeah, so that's what I think. It's exciting because it's taking something that's, we have a lot of new stuff and you need to onboard people into it, and this is a great way to do it.
Exactly. It should serve as kind of a bridge between our experiences. It should also serve as a much easier configuration experience for administrators, so you don't have to know how to work with UI Builder right off the rip. It can kind of ease you into it. And then something else I wanted to show you guys here was, okay, so who here is like a form builder versus form layout purist? Like I, as an old soul, quote unquote, I hope sorry, everybody who's been on the platform older than me.
Form
Um
designer.
yeah, form designer, right. Um this allows you a new way to work with it. So you can drag and drop and add columns ad hoc here without having to go into one of the many designers that we have. But also, not only that, I'm just going to highlight this. If we go to the new record page, Akash, quick question. Have you tried both of the UI Builder courses on Now Learning? While we get that answer, check this out. I can edit the form directly here. If I want to be, why is my computer lagging? I don't see my controls popping up. So there's a bunch of options that you can do here for configuring the form. But if it was working correctly, it would let me go in and show you guys how to drag and drop these fields and reorder them. We also have added the ability to configure the contextual sidebar, which was a big piece of feedback that we've received. We simplified them greatly, and we've added in like the top 5 most common contextual sidebar configurations that we have. And then additionally, the last thing I want to show you guys is I'm still upset that I can't show you guys how to drag and drop. I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on with this. It's okay, it's not my instance. It's some guy's named Brad's instance is probably the problem here.
That's why I had
Um
those demo problems. You were using my instance.
save me some time. So anyways, the last thing I want to show you guys is kind of a sneak preview of what is coming in today's later session. Earl, do you know what time that session is? I don't even know.
12:30 Pacific.
12:30 Pacific. You guys remember declarative actions and UI actions and all of that stuff? Well, now from here, you can configure the actions that are available for this form and for this views. But now we have something called UI interactions. And in order to know what that does, you're just going to have to tune back in at 12:30 Pacific to learn. But I just wanted to quickly show off how it would add it on here. And then obviously not show up because Brad's demo instance is broken. I have heard that there are some issues with caching right now that we're trying to resolve. So just keep that in mind. With the next experience forms and lists, we do have a lot of caching that is done to help upgrade performance. So if you notice anything like that, a hard refresh usually takes care of it for you. And I think that's all that I wanted to show off. Let's see if there's any questions.
Nice. So the main things that were happening in chat were some different questions that we'll make sure the chat is available in case we need to reach out to different people. But a lot of questions about, is this something that's going to be available to everybody? Is this part of the platform? That happened a couple of times. If you wanted to reiterate any of that.
So, Nick, updating the new incident form via that link, is that for all instances of the new incident page or just the one? That is going to be editing the default view of the form view. You are able to select the different views and click on add a new view from this menu configurator. If you look at the top of the screen. You're correct. Form Builder is a different view that does allow for a lot more configuration. This is just meant to get you started and or kind of account for 80% of the most basic use cases that you just need to go in real quick and get out. When moving the number column to a different area, I lose the functionality of it being clickable. It's not an SOW issue. That's a platform thing that I learned like a cajillion years ago by mistake. Because apparently, if you have a reference field, the field that you put on the very left side is going to be the one that is clickable for some reason. Fred Luddy. Hashtag Fred Luddy.
Unless it's a reference field to another table.
Unless it's a reference field to another table, in which case it'll take you to the other table. So it's not a Workspaces thing. It's not an SOW thing. Let's go dig up Fred. Let's go find Fred Luddy and blame him for that one.
Say dig up Fred. Okay. Thank you, everybody. We're going to start wrapping up the show now on that note. All right. Hey, Brad. Welcome to the show. So there is, as Gabby was saying, there is another episode focused mostly on those interactions that she was alluding to. So if you want to tune in with us, we're live again in about 2.5 hours on the same channel, and we'll be here with even more of our friends and guests from that team. So it'll be a nice lively party with a bunch of people on stream. But tune in. We're going to add a bunch of stuff into the description of this video. We're going to cut it up into chapters, and we'll provide that to you all, along with isolated videos and different blogs about this stuff in the coming weeks. If you have been tuning into Dev Passport, we always have these nice summary slides for you in case you ever need to screenshot it, bring this back to your team, to be able to have a good snapshot of what we talked about today and what's being updated for Australia. As a reminder, this is happening all week. So we've already had 2 episodes before this, and we're now in the halfway point now that we end part 1 of Experiences, continuing later today with part 2, and then tomorrow for release ops, and then on Friday ending it with our producer, Travis, to talk about Studio and Build Agent. But yeah, so we have an action-packed week this week. Make sure you upgrade your PDI to Australia so you can see a lot of the fun stuff that we've been talking about not just today, but this week. And yeah, thank you for tuning in to Dev Passport, our newer format that we're trying out. Let us know if you like that. Let us know if you like this more deeper dives and more demos of what we're showcasing instead of 2 minutes per topic and rapid fire like we used to do. Hopefully this has been one of the most requested things that we do, is more of a deep dive every time we do a release. I want to thank Brad and Maria Gabriela for joining us for this one, and we're going to be back in a couple of hours with Stephanie also, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, everyone.
We'll see if I come back. Bye.
She's done.